We're going to talk today about the leave it command. This is one that is extremely useful. It's something that we tend to apply throughout our lives constantly with our dogs. So because of the multiple repetitions, they learn it pretty quickly, and it's reinforced over and over. So what leave it means is take your attention off the thing you're fixated on and move on. It does not mean take your attention off for a nanosecond, look at me, get a treat, and then go right back to that thing. That is a treat trained dog that will not really grasp the concept. So what we want to do is introduce it correctly, practice it with gradually increasing challenges, and then take it out into the real world. So this is Hazel. She's in for a board and train. She's 4 months old, so she's just starting her training journey. And so we're going to introduce her to the leave it command. This is actually the 3rd day of practicing it with her, and she's already showing that she's understanding. So we start with a treat that is of moderate interest level. If she had no food drive at all, we would use a toy or something else she was interested in. We don't want to go too high value, because if I put a piece of steak in front of her, that's too much. It's overwhelming. She is food motivated, so we're going to use a little dog treat. And what she's going to do is, what we're going to do, I'm going to put this thing in our hand, covered, so that she knows it's there. She can smell it, but she can't get to it. So you'll see that she's trying to nibble at it. She's trying to paw at it. She can't reach the actual treat. Here's the key to teaching her this. I'm not going to move my hand away. She needs to back off. The reason for that is if I move my hand, she's going to follow my hand, and it's a game then for her. I want her to back away from the thing, just like I would want a dog to back away from something on the sidewalk when we're walking. So we start with the food in our closed hand. When she backs off, we mark it. Yes, good girl. Here's your little treat. She gets a piece of the treat. When she's good at that, and by good I mean I say leave it and she backs off instantly. Now I can put it on the floor, or maybe put it in an open palm and see if she's willing to back off of that. Each of these steps takes a little bit more effort on her part, so we're going to move very gradually. This is the one command in the teaching phase that we will repeat. So I'll say leave it several times to remind her that this is what she's trying to do. Once she's learned it and we're out and about, I'm only going to say it one time for her to comply. So we work on it through that. When she's good at this in our controlled environment with our controlled item of interest, in this case the dog treat, now we can take it out into the world and practice it. So typically on any walk you take your dog on, you're going to tell them leave it 100 times. So out we go. We tell her leave it, and if she doesn't, we use a little leash pressure to help her remember what she's supposed to do. Again, certain things are going to be way more challenging than others. So a leaf on the ground is one level. A squirrel going up a tree is totally different. And we need to just recognize that and be patient with her. But again, because we repeat this command so frequently, dogs should learn it relatively quickly. A couple of things might occur when you are working through this that you should be ready for. So if you run into one of these high level challenges like the squirrel or whatever it might be, then what you should do is give the dog the command, use a little bit of leash pressure, but don't turn it into a real tug of war or a horrible conflict. That's not helpful. If need be, forget the command and just steer the dog away from it. If they're not ready for something like the squirrel, the cat, the whatever it might be, don't push them over the threshold, because you're going to water down the value of the command. So if I took Hazel from a little dog treat to a mouse or whatever she's interested in, that would be completely unfair to expect her to have the same response to my command. So you do need to work this gradually rather than just flooding them with things that are beyond their capacity at that stage. But ultimately, your dog should be able to leave pretty much anything you say. And that is, again, universal applications. You're going to use it in the house, you're going to use it outside, you're going to use it you know, in various different settings with various different items of interest. And once you have achieved that, you will find that your dog is tuned into you eventually so well that he'll see something he's interested in and he'll look to you for permission, like, may I or may I not, which is awesome. And you can just tell him, nope, leave it alone, off we go. So obviously that's high level cooperation, but that's what we're aiming for. It should be very straightforward, just like you would tell your kid, hey, leave that thing alone. Tell the dog, hey, leave it, and off you go. So give it a shot with your dog. Let me know how it goes, and we'll see you on the next one.